Is it inflation, or are you just hallucinating? Are you seeing the economic data in your daily life, and is it all rosy? I would say a resounding no. If you think you may be falling behind in your financial goals, see the video description to access the free Inflation Retirement Calculator to make sure that you are on track. Also, please share your experience in the comments. To discuss the present economic environment and how investments in scarce and time-tested assets like gold and silver can help you secure your financial future, we will hear from economist and investor Keith Weiner, author and economist at George Mason University, Lawrence H. White, economist, White House advisor, and author Jim Rickards, former congressman and activist Mark Finchem.
There's been this quiet theft going on over time. You'll notice the document that has a house, has eggs, has hard money, and then has fiat currency. I find it interesting that in 1957, a 1,600 square foot house would cost roughly the equivalent of 37,700 eggs, which would be 13,500 silver dollars, which in that day would have been 13,500 silver certificates. Now today we move forward to, and this is just 2007 because this is when this was prepared, that same house would still cost the equivalent of 37,700 eggs, and it would still be roughly 13,500 silver dollars. However, in Federal Reserve notes, it would be $175,000. That's called inflation. So when somebody takes that $13,500 in silver dollars and exchanges them for Federal Reserve notes, the IRS says that that's a taxable event.
Gold has been doing what it does for 5,000 years, and the proposition is that it's going to continue doing for the next 100 years what it's been doing for 5,000 years. And in those 5,000 years, we have not reached the point where marginal benefit is less than marginal cost. At the margin, gold's utility is not diminishing. The nth plus 1 ounce has the same value as the nth ounce, which is saying that gold is the closest thing we have to an economic constant. Why is it important to have something that's an economic constant? What is the single most important thing that every business owner, operator, manager needs to know? Are we creating wealth? Are we destroying wealth? And how do we measure that? You need something that will give you an objective picture, and gold is that objective picture.
Just a quick interruption to say thank you for supporting our channel. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this video content. It really does make a difference. Also, a quick mention and shout out to one of our sponsors, Augusta Precious Metals. With over a decade in the industry, Augusta Precious Metals is one of the leading gold investing companies for trust, customer empowerment, and prices. The company provides 401k rollover services to tax-advantaged gold IRAs, as well as a unique gold investing educational webinar and resources for their customers, helping beginning and experienced investors protect their retirement wealth with confidence. Whether you are starting a brand new gold IRA or rolling over an existing account, the company will make this process seamless and stress-free. To find out more about Augusta Precious Metals, see the link in the video description to visit Augusta Precious Metals' official site to receive a free gold investing guide. Also, check out our video review of Augusta Precious Metals by clicking the link in the top right. Now, back to the episode.
We found that real stability in the economy hasn't been any greater under the Federal Reserve, even if we confine ourselves to post-1971. True, they screwed up in the Great Depression, and so if you add that in, then the Fed's track record is even worse than the classical gold standard in terms of output stability. It's often thought that the Fed is needed to backstop the financial system in the event of panics, natural disasters, pandemics, that without somebody there to make the printing press go burr, that there's going to be a lack of confidence that everybody can get their money when they want it. Biggest piece of evidence I can offer in this regard is that the Canadian banking system, which had no central bank, which had no deposit insurance, weathered the Great Depression without a single bank failure. The economy suffered because the U.S. is their biggest trading partner, so they could hardly have not had a depression in output, but they had no financial trouble. They didn't have any bank failures. The problem with a lender of last resort, again, is a moral hazard problem. In a sense, it underprices the assurance that it's giving, and thereby creates an incentive in banks to take on bigger risks than they would if they were bearing all the cost themselves.
I'm not talking about e-gold, I'm not talking about COMEX futures, I'm not talking about GLD, I'm not talking about ETFs, I'm talking about gold. So gold is no one's liability. I think no one's done a better job than the Austrians of pointing that out. It's the only form of money that's not a liability. I learned in the first week of law school, if you have a contract, you're supposed to read the contract. Take a dollar bill out of your wallet or take a pound sterling and look at what it says. Look at the writing. That's the contract. It says it's a note. It's a Bank of England note, or in the case of US dollars, a Federal Reserve note. Where I went to law school, a note is a liability. Indeed, if you look at the balance sheet of a central bank, the money that they've created is listed on the liability side of the balance sheet.
The 5,000-year history, gold is the one asset that has outlasted numerous business cycles, economic downturns, booms and busts, stock market bubbles, and the rise and fall of every currency. And unlike depreciating, faith-based fiat currency, gold is no one's liability. It builds wealth while preserving it. Owning physical gold and precious metals requires responsible sourcing of grades, purity, condition, the best prices, transparency, and most of all, security and storage. Gold IRAs are a tax-deferred means of owning physical gold and ensuring all these investing principles are met. We have reviewed and vetted the best gold IRA companies that meet all these requirements. See the link in the video description to access the free gold investment guides. If you have $100K of retirement savings to protect and want to take advantage of the best gold prices, see the link in the video description to sign up for the free Gold and Silver Web Conference hosted by Augusta Precious Metals. Thank you for watching.